long time no see. I told you I'll be back. Welcome back to story time. We are reading Ivy and Bean Make the Rules. And because I had a lot of interruptions, I came right back to keep reading for you, okay? So we're just gonna get right into it. Everybody left. Let's hope for the best. Okay, there they are. Oh, I wonder what they have in mind now. Camp Flaming Arrow hits the spot. I guess that's the name of their camp. There are certain things a camp has to have. The first thing is counselors. The people who run camps are called counselors. They make all the decisions and they are prepared for anything. Plus, everyone has to do what they say. Counselor Ivy, said Bean. She saluted. Counselor Bean, said Ivy. She saluted too. Bean put the ring of duct tape on her arm. If you had duct tape, you were prepared for anything. Okay, now let's make some decisions. The first thing we have to decide is the name. Okay, said Ivy. What do you want to call it? Something good, said Bean. Right, something cool, Bean said. Right, cool, agreed Ivy. Something kind of tough sounding, Bean went on. Something that will make people wish they were at our camp. Like Camp Flaming Arrow. Flaming arrows were totally cool and tough. Bean has seen them in a movie. They shot through the air and whatever they hit burned to a crisp. Or Camp Neanderthal, said Ivy dreamily. Neanderthals are cool and tough. Bean had never heard of Neanderthal. So Ivy explained that they were long gone cave people who were maybe short and stumpy, but definitely brave. They clubbed saber-toothed tigers over the head. They were so brave. Look at all the flaming arrows that they got. Bean had to agree. Neanderthals were pretty cool. They were just as cool as flaming arrows. How could they choose between them? Eeny meeny, Ivy suggested. So they eeny meeny. And when flaming arrows won, Ivy didn't mind very much because Camp Flaming Arrow was such a great name. Who wouldn't want to be in a Camp Flaming Arrow? What are they going to do in their camp? Another reason Ivy didn't mind very much about Eeny Meeny was that she had her own great idea right afterward. Uh-oh. It was about the tent. They needed a tent. No tent, no camp. But unfortunately, neither Ivy nor Bean had a tent handy. Where could we get one? For a few minutes, they were stumped. Then Ivy got a great idea. Hey, she said and jumped to her feet. My mom got new curtains. No, oh my gosh. Oh, she began to run towards the house. Oh, she's gonna be murdered in this story. Oh, let me get some. My back. I did some work and my back is hurting a little bit. Okay, let's get back into it. Bean didn't think that was very exciting. But as she found out when Ivy came back, the new curtains were not the exciting part. The exciting part was the old curtains. Ivy had fished them out of the garbage. Oh, woof. I thought she was using the new ones. Ivy had fished them out of the garbage. 4 long white pieces of cloth, perfect for tent making. She and Bean laid the cloth out on the grass and duct taped the tops of the curtains together to make one super wide piece of white cloth. Ta-da! Now they had a tent. All we have to do is throw it over that branch and Camp Flaming Arrow can begin, said Ivy, pointing to the plum tree. The same plum tree. No, said Bean. Camp Flaming Arrow isn't here. Ivy looked confused. Then where is it? Monkey Park, said Bean firmly. Real camps are at Monkey Park. Where are they gonna put that? Bean's mom said okay. In her backpack, Bean placed a safety pin, a Santa hat with a beard attached to it, and a wolf mask left over from Halloween. She carried a big sign that says Camp Flaming Arrow in her hands so it wouldn't get crumbled. Presto! She was ready for camp. Ivy's mom said okay. Ivy got the tent into her backpack. But there wasn't much room for anything else. She slipped in a few band-aids. Better safe than sorry, just like teachers always said. At the last minute, she jumped her magnifying glass as well. She was ready for camp. Bye, they screeched to their mothers. At the edge of the park, they stopped. Whoa, Nellie Bean said. Monkey Park was bursting with kids. On the big flat field, there were 2 soccer games going on, with another pack of kids jumping up and down on the side. On the not-so-flat field, kids clustered around a picnic table, doing something with paper bags. A bunch more kids were having a tug-of-war with some teenagers. Oh my goodness. Let me show you all the stuff they got in their backpack. Oh, the mask, the magnifying glass, the Santa hat. I don't know why. And they're over here saying goodbye. More kids sat in the grass listening to a man talk about Indians. Over in the playground, babies were falling down and sliding and screaming. Nobody paid attention as Bean and Ivy... Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I forgot to take my allergy medicine because I really didn't go outside, but obviously I need to take it. Oh my gosh. Nobody paid attention as Bean and Ivy walked over to the other side of the park where there were trees. They flung 2 curtain white cloth over the tree branch and carefully spread out the edges that touched the ground. They came back outside and put rocks on the edges to make them stay. Bean unrolled the Camp Flaming Arrow sign and stuck it to the tent with her safety pin. Be careful! Ivy and Bean looked at each other and smiled. Camp Flaming Arrow was open for business. Oh my gosh. Clever, look. It kind of works. I hope they don't have like a big wind coming through because it's not very well attached. You could just, it can fly away. Anywho, here we go. Oh my goodness. They're walking around their tent. And don't, Peaky, don't bite their box, Peaky. Oh. Peaky, choose. Peaky, choose. Pick your choose, Pikachu. Oh, now she's going to the other basket. Very crafty. This is the other chapter. Bean and Ivy went inside their tent. Why don't you take... No, Pikachu. No, piggies. Mira, play with this basket. Whee! Play with that basket. There you go. Whee! Whoa, what's in it? There's a cup inside. Help. Send help. They sat on the grass. They got up. They walked around. They sat back down. Finally, Ivy said, what exactly do you do at camp? Bean pulled out the Girl Power Forever paper and looked at the list. All this stuff is what you do. Ivy nodded. What comes first? I'm not sure, said Bean. That's why I brought these. She held up the wolf mask and the Santa hat. Wolf and Santa camp? Asked Ivy. That sounds fun. No. Oh, Lord. Pika! She, she looks like a little girl hanging on. She's like, what is over here? Oh, she got up. First time she climbs like that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that can break, Pikachu. Oh, I guess we won't have it for too long. Pika, where are you going, mommy? No, don't eat those. Don't, please, don't. This is why I brought this stuff over here because I had it in the living room and they were eating those little balls. They're like styrofoam balls and they were taking them out. Excuse me. Let me see if I can get her. Close the door. Hi, baby girl. Okay, go play. Go play. Good girl. Oh my goodness. I'm back. I'm so sorry. I should have closed the door from the beginning, but they kept coming in and out, in and out. Oh, I feel bad. Anywho, look at them. They have their mask. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. Wait, Maggie, wait. I'm doing a story. All right. No, we're going to go to the youth center and spy on Girl Power Forever Camp, said Bean. She put the wolf mask over her face and handed the Santa hat and beer to Ivy. Whatever they're doing, we'll do it too. Ivy put on the Santa hat. Hunks of beer fell off and fell into her mouth. Don't you think they might notice a wolf and a Santa spying on them? Nah, said Bean. We're going to be really quiet. They won't notice a thing. Then why are we wearing this stuff? Asked Ivy, pulling Santa hair out of her mouth. Just to be on the safe side, said Bean. Because if Nancy does notice us, she's going to lose her marbles. Wolf's eyes are not in the same place as people's eyes, Bean realized. After she smacked into the tree for the second time, Bean decided to take the mask off until she got to the youth center. Santa didn't have a problem seeing. Santa had a problem breathing. With every breath, big puffs of beer flew into Ivy's throat and made her cough. Shh, warned Bean. Oh my gosh. I can't help it, choked Ivy. Spit, said Bean. They slither among the monkey bark. Oh, so she says spit, said Bean. So Ivy did. That helps some. They slither among the monkey bark trees. Even without her mask, Bean was a wolf hunting her prey tiptoe, tiptoe. Ivy was Santa, trying to deliver presents without waking up all the kids. Tiptoe, tiptoe. They were almost there. Bean and Ivy whisked across a patch of grass and huddled against the cement walls of the youth center. Tiptoe, tiptoe. They hurled around the building's corner. Tiptoe, tiptoe. They crouched down and scuttled underneath the window, and Bean snapped her mask on. Slowly, slowly, they stood up and peeked in the window. No wonder, look at that. That beer is too big. No wonder she's swallowing half of it. I'm choking on it. Oh my gosh. They're gonna get caught, do you think? Look at all the girls. Oh. Well, they don't seem to be having a good time. Look at her faces. At long tables, rows of girls were bent over tiny threads, nodding and nodding. Ivy nudged Bean and whispered, "Crashed? Friendship bracelets?" Bean whispered back. She looked up and down the rows for Nancy. There she was. She was crouched over a table pile with color threads. She was nodding like crazy. She was nodding so hard that her tongue was sticking out of her mouth. Oh. You want to do that? Whispered Ivy. Bean looked at the Nodders again. It was real camp. In real camp, they made friendship bracelets. Yeah, Bean whispered. Ivy nodded. Okay, if you want to. Unfortunately, Nodding let loose a big fluff of beer. Very unfortunately, Ivy breathed in it and began coughing. And extra unfortunately, three girl power forever campers glanced up and saw a wolf and a choking Santa peeking in the window. And then, really quite unfortunately, they screamed, OMG, OMG, what was that? And Nancy looked up. But fortunately, Ivy and Bean were long gone by the time they were racing wildly through the trees, sip, 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 tearing off the wolf's mask and Santa hat and beer. They reached Camp Flaming Arrow and flung themselves into their tent. Then they lay there gasping. Look at that. They just threw themselves in there like, boing, they're gonna hit the tree. Time for crafts, Bean wheezed. Since Ivy was still choking on Santa Claus, Bean ran to her house to get string. She came back to Camp Flaming Arrow a few minutes later, holding 12 neat coils of color string. Where did you get those? Asked Ivy. Bean said one of the best things about Nancy being in camp is that she isn't in her room. Won't she mind? Nah, said Bean. She has tons of it. She won't even notice. Didn't you just say that about the mask and the Santa? Asked Ivy. She looked at the strings. How do you make a friendship bracelet anyway? Bean felt like a real counselor. The first things you do is pick out your colors, she said. They picked their colors. The 12 neat coils of string turned into a brightly colored mound of string. Next, you put all 6 of your strings together and tie a knot, said Bean. She was pretty sure that was what you did anyway. She looked at Ivy's knot. Very good, she said. Now you make more knots, one in each string. The more knots, the better, she figured. More knots, says Ivy. Making knots took a lot of concentration. That's what friendship bracelets are all about. Knots, said Bean briskly. She started knotting her own strings. Knot, 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 knot. Wait. She had tied one string to another. Bummer. My string all bunched up, said Ivy. Undo it, said Bean, trying to untie her back knot. I can't, said Ivy. Bean sliced one of her strings in half with her fingernails. Now she has 7 strings. Yow, stringorama. Oh my gosh, look what they did. That looks like a humongous spaghetti. I don't know if they're gonna be unstringing the string. Now my first knot undone, Ivy announced. Mine turned into 2 strings, Bean said. You know, said Ivy, I already know we're friends. It's not like we need a bracelet to figure it out. No, there's 3 of Bean's strings were split. She had 13 strings. Stupid strings, she muttered. She tried to untangle them. When she looked up, she saw that Ivy had wrapped all her strings around her wrist. She was using her teeth to tie the ends in a knot. What are you doing? Bean asked. That's not a craft. I'm being Houdini, said Ivy. No rope could hold him. He could not escape. He could escape from anything. Oh, that's what she said. She held out her wrist. Tie this knot and I'll show you how he did it. Oh my gosh. She tied her hands together. Look. I hope she doesn't get hurt. Bean threw her strings on the ground. There was no way you'd escape if I tied my special knot. That's what you think, said Ivy. I'm getting really good at escaping. Bean leaned over and tied the string around Ivy's wrist. nodding once, twice, 3 times. Hey, she said, look, it's a friendship bracelet. Happy campers. Oh my lord. Something bad is happening here. Look. Why her hand is attached to her feet over there, her foot. Ivy had just finished tying Bean's arm and leg together behind her back when they heard a voice said, "That's weird." "What?" said Ivy, looking around. She got up to investigate. I'm hearing noises. Noises of things I don't know what they're doing out there. I hope they're just playing. I'm trying to get the heck out of this robe, yelled Bean. But Ivy was talking to someone else. To someone else's. They were peeking out of a bush. I wonder who it is. Oh, 2 kids, look. There were 2 kids, 2 girls. Yeah. "We're running away from home," said one of them. He was a little kid, littler than Ivy and Bean. "No, we're not," he says anything. Oh, it's a little boy and a little girl. I didn't see the little thing he had. I thought it was hair and it's like a cap. She was about their age. "About you doing a trick? Welcome to Camp Flaming Arrow," said Bean in her best counselor voice. It was hard to look like a counselor with her foot tied to her hand, but she tried. "Camp what?" asked the girl. "Camp Flaming Arrow," said Ivy. "You know, whoosh through the air, sizzle," she added. "Some people call it Camp Neanderthal." The girl looked at Bean. "Why is she all tied up?" "Craft?" yelled Bean, struggling to get her foot free. The boy set down his backpack. "That's a good craft. Can I be in your camp?" "I thought you were running away from home," said Ivy. "No," the girl shook her head. "We're visiting our great aunt. She told us to come here and play. We can't go back to her house until dinner." Oh my gosh! She goes to visit and it's like, "Get out of my house. Go play." "Whoa," said Ivy. "Dinner's a long time from now." The girl nodded. She's kind of crabby. Bean heaved herself onto her side with a thumb. She smiled, showing all her teeth. "Welcome to Camp Flaming Arrow, a week of fun and inspiration for G kids." The boy was a boy, so it couldn't be just for girls. "Oh, I'm Counselor Bean, and that girl is Counselor Ivy." The boy's name was Harlan, and he was 6 years old. His sister was Franny, and she was 7. Harlan asked where the other campers were. Bean tried to think for a good answer. She couldn't. "Actually, there aren't any other. Camp doesn't really start until next week," Ivy broke in. "Right," said Bean. "This is a practice week, just for counselors. But we'll make an exception for you," said Ivy. Bean nodded seriously. "You're lucky. If you came next week, you might not get in." "This camp is pretty popular," Ivy nodded seriously too. "You don't look very old to be counselor," said Franny. "Oh, we're all right," said Bean. "We're short for our ages," said Ivy. "Really short." She sighed sadly. Harlan and Franny could tell that it wouldn't be polite to ask any more questions about that. "Now, we always start with a little talk about camp rules," said Bean, rubbing her hands together. "So sit down, crisscross applesauce. Hop to it." Harlan and Franny plopped down on the grass and waited obediently. Ivy and Bean looked at each other and with shining eyes. This was going to be good. No one ever let them make the rules. "Rule number 1, said Bean. "You can only have as much fun as you're willing to get hurt." Oh my gosh. What? Said Franny. Rule 2, said Ivy. Live and learn. Her mom said that a lot. Rule 3, yelled Bean. The counselor is always right. This is gonna be a disaster camp. Ivy began to giggle. Rule 4, if you want to make an omelette, you're going to have to break some eggs. If you can't beat 'em, join 'em. Bellow Bean. Don't get mad, get even, yelled Ivy. I don't think this is a real camp, said Franny. Time for crafts, shouted Bean. How was your day, Bean? Her dad asked that night at dinner. Great, said Bean. What did you do? Great, said Bean. She was thinking about crafts. It had been a lot of fun. Even Franny and Harlan had fun. They were kind of kids who enjoyed having their hands tied to their feet. Oh my gosh. I can't believe the younger kids. What is this? Oh, that's his backpack. It looks like a puppy, but that's his backpack. It's in the corner right there. Oh my gosh. What? Said her dad. Bean turned to Nancy. How was girl power forever? She asked. Super duper fun, Nancy said, shoving a forkful of pasta into her mouth. What exactly did you do? Asked Bean. Well, we did nature first then. And then, what's nature study? Asked Bean. You know, studying nature, duh, said Nancy. And then we had craft and dance. And I'm in a routine. And wait, her eyes got narrow. Why do you want to know? Bean opened her eyes wide and pitiful. I'm just interested in your life. Isn't that all right? No, said Nancy. Her eyes got even narrower. Leave my life alone, Nancy said her mother. Don't be mean to your little sister. Yeah, said Bean. I'm just a little kid. When their parents weren't looking, Nancy stuck her tongue out at Bean. Oh my gosh. Look at her. Oh. Having a sister must be fun. Okay, I'm gonna stop because almost 30 minutes and then there's another chapter. And this is kind of a long book, but I think we can get through it. Let me see, what can I hold this with? My page over here. Stay tuned for what happens. This is gonna be one of those stories that I think is gonna end well, but they're gonna learn big lessons. So take care of yourself. I hope you have a good Sunday. Today is Sunday. So Monday, I think you go back to school, right? When is school over? Now, I don't know anything about school anymore since my kids they're out of the house. Now they have their own kids, so I don't know anything. I just see the kids coming by and they're always waving because if I'm outside watering my plants, they're like, hi. Oh, I remember those times. I kind of miss it sometimes, but other times I'm like, I'm glad it's over. Oh, it's a lot of work for your parents, so be easy on them, okay? And be good, for goodness sake, all right? So you stay tuned, do your homework, do what you're told. Remember that even if your parents are not watching, God is. He's watching whatever you're doing. So if you're lying, if you fib, I hear a fight going on outside. Whatever you do, God is watching you. Even if your parents are not there, you should always obey, okay? I love you. Stay safe. Always be on the lookout. If you're walking home, be careful with cars. And there's barking and stuff going down over there and in the living room. So I gotta go. I'll see you soon. I'll come back as soon as I can and finish this book, okay? And if you have any ideas, you can go to my Instagram at artist mom. What is it? 50. I think. Oh my gosh, I'm getting old. Why is mom 50? Find me. Try. Okay, I'll see you later.